It's not any secret that a barbell is one of the most versatile pieces of equipment you could add to your home gym. And Living.Fit just dropped some heat. Now, y'all, I literally just unboxed these a few minutes ago. Now, I've obviously done my due diligence and done my research. There's a lot to like about these barbells on paper, but in this video today, we're really gonna put them to the test and see what they're made of. So kick back and relax and hang out for a little bit as I break down both of these barbells. Yo, what's up everybody? It's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym, and for today's video, I've got two barbells from Living.Fit that I'm gonna be breaking down for y'all. In this video today, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about these barbells, from the price and the features, the pros and the cons, but most importantly, who should or maybe should not add these to their home gym. Now, before I get going, start talking my head off into the camera, I gotta let you guys know we've reviewed a ton of barbells on barbend.com. So if you want to browse our best list, just go ahead and search BarBend Best Barbells. That article is going to pull up for you, and you can find out for yourself which ones that we like the best. All right, so let's talk about what I like about these barbells. And once again, these are my initial thoughts because I'm really just now putting my hands on these. The knurling is really nice. It's nice and moderate. These are multi-purpose bars, which is why it's moderate. It's not going to tear up your hands as you go to do, a power clean or any other Olympic style lift. And speaking of that, once again, these are multi-purpose bars, and that's because of the pairing of bushings and bearings in the loading sleeves. It's gonna provide a pretty solid rate of spin, really gonna allow you to, twist that barbell and get under it for those power cleans, for example. I really like how there's two different coating options right here. So you have chrome and Cerakote. This is really nice. The Cerakote's gonna be your best bet if you're keeping all your gear in a non-climate controlled room. You don't have AC, that humidity can really cause the barbell to, get some rust and corrosion on it. And, next to stainless steel, Cerakote is the best option you could ask for. Both of these barbells can also load up to 1,500 pounds, which is a really nice number. And then either way, whichever one you go for, you're not gonna be spending more than 225 bucks. So this is a really nice budget-friendly option. Okay, so I want to take a second and just talk about a few potential cons you may run into. And first of all, we got to talk about the packaging. So barbell packaging isn't necessarily the best by any means in general, but when I got both of these barbells, the plastic end caps that are on that cardboard packaging were just gone. They were missing, nowhere to be found. Now, barbells weren't hanging out, there's no visible damage or anything like that. Just keep that in mind, because if it happened to me, it might happen to you too, all right? Now, I want to transition to talking about tensile strength, and if you don't know what tensile strength is, just really quick, it's essentially going to tell you how strong a barbell is, all right? So this ranges from 150,000 PSI to 230, some even around 235,000 PSI. So it's basically just going to tell you, how much force, how much weight, everything that a barbell can handle before it starts to bend or, maybe even fracture. That's going to be really hard to do, but, still, it's nice knowing what that number is, all right? So these barbells, it's kind of confusing. On the Living.Fit website, it says they range from 180 to 210,000 PSI. I've honestly never really seen that before. Most companies just have it, written out, clear as day, what it is. Now, let's say they are 180,000 PSI. That's still plenty for, most weightlifters. Only time, you're really gonna have to worry about that, in my opinion, is if you're, power cleaning some absurd weight, okay? So it should be fine for most people. It would just be nice if it was, perfectly laid out and disclosed, as I just mentioned. Also, this chrome, honestly, it looks sweet. It looks awesome, brand new out of that packaging, looks amazing. But, if you're not in a non-climate controlled room, this is not gonna be the best bet for you. It's gonna, protect against rust and corrosion better than bare steel will, but still, you're gonna have to clean it more so than you would with this Cerakote bar. So definitely just keep that in mind. And then, really, this isn't that big of a deal, but these aren't gonna be the best at any one lift, and that's because they're multi-purpose bars. They're gonna allow you to do everything, but if you're a dedicated power lifter or an Olympic lifter, you're definitely gonna wanna go for a specialty bar. Okay, so let's transition into talking about some money now. And once again, both of these barbells are a really nice budget-friendly option. Okay, so this chrome one's gonna run you right around 200 bucks, while the Cerakote is about 225. Now, we compare this to the rest of the market. It's a really, really solid price point for both of them. I mean, yeah, you could find a cheaper one than this chrome one right here, but it's gonna be cheaper for a reason. That's because the quality is just not gonna be there. Now, these both feel really nice in my hands. We're gonna really test them out in a second and put them to the test, like I said, and do some power cleans and stuff with it in a minute. But first reactions, these seem really high quality. And this Cerakote bar in particular is a really nice deal in my opinion. Most companies are charging about 100 bucks more for their Cerakote bar. So, what you're getting out of both of these, I think it's a really nice deal. Okay, so let's take a second and talk about the build and some of the features with both of these barbells. So remember, you have your choice of coating with chrome and Cerakote, but either way, they're both made of alloy steel, 86.6 inches in length, 16-inch loading sleeves, and they have a diameter of 28 millimeters. Now, it's worth mentioning that both of these bars are only available in 20 kilograms, so if you're looking for a 10 or 15, you're just gonna have to keep looking elsewhere. Both of these bars can handle up to 1,500 pounds of weight, and that tensile strength is in a range of 180 to 210,000 PSI. If I can figure that out, later on, I'll definitely, make an update, but as of right now, that's all I got for you there. Now, the knurling is pretty solid, and that's actually a really good thing. Obviously, you get a good grip, but, a lot of times compared to stainless steel, bars with a coating don't have as good of a, grippy feel, I guess you could say. And honestly, I feel pretty impressed by both of these right off the bat. Now, that might change once I start working out with them here in a second, but honestly, this feels pretty good, and I can't even tell a difference between either one of these. So it's not like one necessarily gives you a better grip than the other, so that's really nice. Now, you do have dual knurl markings right here. So the ones on the inside are the standard of the International Powerlifting Federation, while the ones on the outside are by the International Weightlifting Federation. So that's just really nice. These are here because they are in fact multi-purpose bars. Now, you don't have a center knurling right here. Personally for me, that's totally fine. A lot of times, most of the time actually, with the multi-purpose bar, you're not gonna have that. But, if you have more of an emphasis in powerlifting, you might want a little bit of knurling right here. It's not gonna be as abrasive as, out here, but that definitely helps a little bit, when putting the bar on your upper back for your squats. And actually, having a little bit of a knurl right there is sometimes pretty good when, getting a power clean, it helps it stick to your chest a little bit. The sleeves do have a bit of a grooved pattern. They're not cut super deep or anything, but those are designed to help keep your weight plates in their original placement so they don't slide down, the sleeves as you're dropping that bar repeatedly. I would still toss on some weight collars. You can never be too safe. And speaking of the sleeves, they have a pretty solid rate of spin, and that's because there's ball bearings and brass bushings within them, and that's just, providing that spin. Now, they don't, spin out of control or anything, which is nice for your power lifts, but since they don't necessarily spin as fast as a bar that only has bearings, it might not feel the exact same way when you're going to do those power cleans. Now, you can definitely get it done still. I'm not knocking it by any means. Just definitely keep that in mind. All right, guys, so I just want to show y'all up close, all the fine-tuned details of these barbells, and we're going to demonstrate everything in just a second. So obviously, you have chrome right here, Cerakote. It's nice for different reasons. We have AC in here, so this chrome will work nice in here, but if we didn't, we'd be going after the Cerakote for sure, just because it has a little bit more protection from rust and corrosion. Now, obviously, you don't have a center knurl right here. Even if you did, it wouldn't be very abrasive, but that can come in handy with different lifts, such as a power clean, keeping it on your chest, and definitely for your squatting, just keeping it on your upper back right there. Let's move a little further down the line. Knurling right here, it's really nice. It's not too passive. It's definitely not abrasive, which is a really good thing with a multi-purpose bar. And once again, I cannot tell a difference between the grip right here from the chrome and the Cerakote. That's really nice. A lot of times you can kind of tell. That's not the case here, so that's good. Now, you have your dual knurl markings right here, IPF on the inside, IWF on the outside, industry standard, which is really cool right there as well. Now, you can see them a little bit better on the chrome one than this Cerakote, but you have your brass bushings right here, and then you have your bearings on the inside. You obviously can't see them. Now this is what is going to provide a pretty solid rate of spin. Now they don't spin as freely and as fast as a bar that only has bearings, but honestly this is pretty solid for what you're getting, especially with the price point. This is really nice. Now both of them do have a little bit of a groove pattern right here on the sleeves. Not that deep, you almost can't tell if you're on your fingers over it, but that's designed to help keep those plates locked into place over time. You definitely don't want them moving down the sleeve right here, and it's really nice. Definitely get some weight collars still, but it's going to help you out a little bit. And one more thing, these are 16-inch loading sleeves. You're going to be able to put a pretty decent amount of weight on. That's also industry standard as well. These can handle up to 1,500 pounds. So pretty much everybody, or I guess it's safe to say everybody, can get some solid usage out of these. And then that tensile strength, remember it's 180 to 210,000 PSI. Not really sure, which end of the spectrum it really is, but either way, it's gonna be solid for most, at-home weightlifters. Now, I'm gonna move, the Craftsman out of the way. We're gonna throw some weight on here and really put these to the test, so let's get to it. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys just, how versatile these bars really are. And I wanted to have everything set up properly beforehand, but this is the first time I put weight on this bar right here. And as you can see, there's already, some blemishes, I guess you want to call them. Now, I don't know if that's because of the plate or if it's necessarily because of the bar. Maybe it's, a mix of two. It's not going to negatively impact, the life of the bar, but it's just not going to look as pretty. So that's definitely something that I wanted to mention and just show you guys up close. Because once again, it's the first time I put a weight plate on this barbell. So anyways, we go ahead and lock this guy in, and I want to see if it does it on the other end too. I think it will, but let's just go ahead and find out. Yeah, see, you got those squiggly lines going right down the sleeve right there. That's just not ideal. That's less than ideal right there, but it's okay at the end of the day. So anyways, let's go ahead and do a power clean here and just kind of see how it feels in my hands. Honestly, that felt pretty good. Pretty impressed by the spin right here. So the sleeves spin when no weight is on it, but once you have weight on it and you're sitting here on the ground, that bar is actually what's spinning. So honestly, that was pretty impressive. Definitely gets the job done. So let me catch my breath. Let's go ahead and bench press real quick. All right, so while, not as much going on right there as, opposed to a power clean and what you can really feel, that grip felt really good in my hands. Got a little bit of some knurling markings on my hand right there. Honestly, it's pretty grippy, not too abrasive, and that's what makes these barbells so versatile. All right, so let's talk about who should snag this barbell from Living Fit for their home gym. We got to talk about money first. If you're working with a tight budget, or maybe you just don't want to spend, up to $500 on one barbell, both of these and either one of these, it's going to be a really solid option. You're not going to spend more than 225 bucks. That's going to create more wiggle room for you to add more gear to your gym. Whether that be a kettlebell, adjustable dumbbells, maybe a weight bench, maybe even a relatively cheap squat rack. Either way, it's going to free up a little bit of money, so that's really nice. Also, the different coating options is really nice too. If you're having your gear in a garage or anywhere that's just not climate controlled and it gets really hot and humid, the Cerakote's gonna be, really solid for you. They're also, since they are multi-purpose bars, you're gonna be able to do all of your lifts. As I said earlier, might not necessarily be the best at any one thing, but having that versatility is a really nice touch. And then lastly is the tensile strength. Yeah, I know it's a little bit unknown since it's from 180 to 210,000 PSI, but even if it is at 180,000 PSI, that's gonna be plenty for most weightlifters. Now, believe it or not, there are a few instances where somebody might not want to purchase these barbells, so let's talk about that. Now, if you're a dedicated powerlifter or an Olympic lifter, you're gonna wanna go after a specialty bar rather than a multi-purpose bar like this right here. Gotta talk about the chrome. It looks great, you know, it's gonna hold up pretty nice, but if you're not gonna be on top of cleaning it from time to time, which you should do that anyways, if you're not gonna be on top of cleaning it from time to time, and it is in a hot, humid room, it's gonna get some rust and corrosion on it, so definitely keep that in mind. And then lastly, if you're looking for a junior size bar or a Bella bar, you're just simply not gonna get that here. All right, that's all I have for you guys today on the Living.Fit Barbell. I personally think these are a really solid purchase. They do have that budget-friendly price tag, which is really nice. They're about as multi-purpose as it gets because of the bearings and bushings and the loading sleeves, and especially with this moderate knurling, it's gonna allow you to do all of your lifts. Just remember, they're not gonna be necessarily the best at any one thing. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. I hope this video was really helpful and I was able to break down everything you need to know about this barbell. As always, keep your eyes peeled for my next video, but for now, you should absolutely head over to barbend.com because we have a full written review about this bar just ready for you to read. All you gotta do is search BarBend Living.Fit Barbell Review. It's gonna pull right up. You can go over every single thing we talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.